So yeah, as I was saying, we're going to be playing Joe Diamond through the Forgotten Age. And we have yet to pick any of the supplies or any of that other stuff, but we are going to be playing on standard difficulty. So since we're not playing Ursula or Monterey Jack, we don't have to choose Elite Investigator, not that that would matter anyway. Okay, so we get 10 supply points. So as far as supplies go, I usually take the map and the torch. You don't need like these later game scenarios. I don't know. There it goes. So usually I take torches, take the map. The canteen can be useful, but I think we have enough soak in our deck to not have to use the River Canyon action. And then, so we'd have 4 points left. Medicine can be good because it helps us avoid trauma. A blanket is pretty bleh. So you get 10 supply points total, penguins. And usually I spend 6 of them on the map on the torches for the first 2 scenarios. The map obviously helping out in the jungle and the torches helping out in the temple. Yeah, poison does suck. I will agree with you there. So if we take medicine, that leaves us with 2 points. Yes, yeah, they're just there to help explore, especially in the first 2 scenarios where we don't have a lot of ways of moving around the map quickly. Even though like things like Pathfinder and Shortcut aren't super useful in the beginning, Torches is really good just to avoid getting a lot of those nasty encounter cards in the second scenario. Yes, Chalk is for Heart of the Elders Part B. The blanket is just to avoid a trauma, I believe. It might avoid 2 trauma total. The canteen is for the River Canyon. The pendant is for City of Archives. I don't remember what the compass is for, honestly. Yeah. And same with provisions. Provisions also blanks a trauma. Yeah, I think you're right. I think compass is Heart of the Elders Part 2. Or Part A, excuse me. Did it just draw that into my hand? It did. Well, that was weird. And then the rope is for Depths of Yoth, if I remember correctly. Are they starting resources? Yeah, the heat's real today, guys. The binoculars are also pretty useful, too. If I remember correctly, the binoculars let you mulligan again. And we don't need the pickaxe until much later on. You'd take the binoculars. I'm leaning towards binoculars as well. Like, we have enough health, and I think enough soak to reasonably deal with a couple trauma. So I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I believe it is after scenario 1. So I think this is how we're gonna spend our supply points. So I have the map, the torches, the medicine, and the binoculars. That seems reasonable to me. Okay, and then let's hop over here. So we drew Indebted as our basic weakness, which is unfortunate. Yep. Especially rare anti-venom poison that helps you against snakes. Because that totally makes sense. Alright, chat, you're gonna have to help me with the old Hunch Deck, because I'm probably gonna forget it at least the first couple of times. But this is what I'm going with for the Hunch Deck. So we have both of our no stones, both of our preposterous sketches, working hunches, scene of the crime, and then the one emergency aid and logical reasoning that we ended up putting into the deck. I put the heal cards in here, one, because the resource discount is nice, and two, these aren't cards we really want to draw per se, but they're nice to have when you need them. Yeah, I mean, come on. That makes sense. You don't want a big burly jacket? It makes total sense going into the heat. Fur-lined Cortex. So I think this is a pretty solid Hunch Deck for the scenario that we're going to be playing through. And I think that's about it as far as the deck goes. So why don't we go ahead and just draw our opening hands here. It's not like I have to explain anything to you guys. You guys seem pretty apt with the Forgotten Age and how it works. Oh wow, this is a terrible opening hand. Okay, well I think we're gonna just about mulligan everything here. And hopefully we get a better hand. Okay, 45, I've got a plan, Malison. Seems better. Did we have any? Yeah, we had, like, shortcut, I've got a plan, evidence. Not things we'd really want to put in the Hunch Deck, but we had them. I think the deck had, like, 19 insights. Crack the case, yeah. There were options. I haven't played much with Shortcut 2, but you're probably right. It's probably pretty good. Okay. So that's our first hunch of the game. Let's make sure we give the exploration deck a shuffle here. Okay, so let's get down Malison. First action here. Fortunately, we're gonna have to wait a couple turns for this. 45. Second action, let's use the map. And it's put one on the bottom and the other two on top, right? Okay. So the Path of Thorns is connected. That's a winning strategy. The Hunch Deck is down here. This is the Hunch Deck. No, I actually remembered. Hey, Robert. Nice to see you. We just started the Forgotten Age with Joe. So I think it's pretty obvious we're going to put this on top, this second from the top, and then we're going to put this low in supplies on the bottom. Yeah. So that's a pretty good start there. So let's use our last action to explore. Just want to make sure I have this all set up correctly. Oops. There we go. Alright, so the Path of Thorns, 3 Shroud, single clue, forced after you fail a skill test while investigating Path of Thorns, take a damage. After you explore here, if the exploration was not successful, you take a damage. Yeah, we're gonna hope to not get lost in the jungle. Alright, but that was our turn, so we'll resource card here on upkeep. We draw another 45 automatic. Not ideal, but that's fine. Let's make sure we shuffle this too. All right, 1 doom of 6. Ooh, an Etsley Guardian. That's malarkey. All right, so it spawns here. Oh, that is quite brutal. No, I did not. Alright, so gave this a shuffle. Wow, and a scene of the crime on top again. Okay, well, I think we're gonna use our first action to play Scene of the Crime. Using Joe here, so we don't have to spend any resources. We'll grab this clue. So we know that we can successfully move into the, what was it, the Serpent Haven? And then next turn we can play the 45. I think that's okay, let's do that. Let's second action move. Or explore, excuse me. So yeah, that's connected like that. And then we did succeed, so we'll go to the Serpent's Haven. 2 Shroud, 2 Clues. Each Serpent enemy at the Serpent's Haven gets +1 fight. And then Forest, after you investigate or explore here, if you're poisoned, take it damage. Okay, so we're currently 2v4 investigating. What I'll do is I'm just going to commit this insight, or, yeah, this evidence. That's going to be 6v2. Oh my god, already. So we have to take a damage? Oh no, it's just while you're poisoned, okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, let's go to upkeep. Resource card. I draw a second evidence. Man, I swear, this like deck is all over the place. Okay, let's move to Mythos. 2 Doom 6. Counter card. Arrows in the trees, oh no! This guy only attacks you at connecting locations. Revelation, take a damage plus an additional damage on each ally asset. Yeah, I don't really want to plop a clue right now, so I think that's fine. So I'll just take it in the face. Alright, let's see what we get off the Hunch Deck. Ooh, we get a Preposterous Sketches, okay. That could be useful. I mean, it seems useful. Let's first action play this Prop Sketches. Let's draw 3 cards. Alright, so we draw Crack the Case, Perception, and take the initiative. That's pretty good. Let's put down our 45. And then I guess let's try to investigate again here. Let's commit Perception. Last action, investigate. 2 versus 6. Okay, the skulls are currently a 0, so that's a pass. Okay, we draw Practice Makes Perfect off the draw of Perception, and then that is our turn. I believe we need 3 clues to advance. Yes. At any non-campsite location. It's only on the starting location, so we'd have to go back to the base camp. Alright, so enemy phase. This guy doesn't hunt, so he just hangs out and shoots us. And these are not connected, so... Okay, so upkeep, resource card. Draw our second Perception. Man, we are drawing... Where is my Dream Enhancing Serum? Okay, let's go to Mythos. 3 Doom of 6. And a Pit Viper. That's unfortunate. So this is currently a 4/1/3 enemy. After it... Let's see. After it deals damage to you, if you're not poisoned, you become poisoned. That is brutal. So we could Malice in this. It just says, place a clue on your location and exhausted, cancel the drawing of a card, shuffle it back in the deck, and draw a new one. The more you know. Like, part of me wants to just kill it. Because then we could evidence crack the case. And we don't lose too much tempo. Well, it just says when you draw an encounter card. I would assume it only works on encounter cards, because it says when you draw an encounter card. I'm assuming that's the way it's intended to work. I don't think it's meant to work with weaknesses. I mean, we're also pretty good at just straight up investigate, explore. So I think we're gonna just hope for the best here. So we'll put this clue back, and then so he gets shuffled back into the deck. And then we'll draw a new one. Ancient Evils. Well, that's fine, I guess. Okay. Alright, so investigation first action. Let's investigate. So I could practice makes perfect and see if I get a deduction as well, and then that would save us some action. So I think I'm going to do that. So first action, let's investigate. Let's look for a deduction. Do we find a deduction? Find a vicious blow, that's not helpful. Wow. We just whiffed. That is most unfortunate. That is most unfortunate. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna straight up investigate then. Yeah, we have 8 skills, it's just apparently we've already drawn 3 of them. Might even be 4. No, the other 2 cards were. Yeah, you can just cut the deck. Oh, thanks, Brandon. Alright, so we're still testing 2v4 here. Guess I'll just evidence. We'll make it 2v6. Okay, that's a 0. That's a pass. And then second action, let's investigate again. Commit deduction. 2v6. Okay, that's a pass as well. Crap. Where was this one? It's what I said, I swear. Perception. Same thing. Whatever. I couldn't pronounce conspicuous last week, so it's on brand. Alright, and then last action. I don't really need cards right now, so I think I'm just going to shuffle that back in. I guess the last action we can explore. And we find an arrows in the trees. Oh my god. Poor Malison. He didn't even know what was coming. That is fine. Yeah. It is, but we don't really have much else to do, so I'm kind of okay with it, honestly. So we'll just take a couple damage. Malison will bite the bullet. Yeah, that's okay though. We're pretty well set up, so not too worried about it. It's famous last words though. Alright, let's resource card. Okay. Shuffle this back in. Like those. 5 Doom 6. And a Pit Viper. Okay. Well, we couldn't evade that thing forever. Okay, well, there's no clue on our location, so that prop sketches is not useful. Let's... So we could reasonably evade 2v5, and then try to explore. We could just shoot it. It's currently at a 4, and be fighting at a 5, and then we could commit, take the initiative to go 4 up. So, it might be worth it to try to kill the Pit Viper. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think we can be okay with like 1 or 2 vengeance points. I think much more than that, and we're in some risky business. So let's take the initiative. That's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus the 4. Woo! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so we can take an insight and put it on the bottom of our Hunch Deck. Is it prop sketches or is it scene of the crime? Probably scene of the crime. Okay, so you go into the Victor display. If we start with Yig in play, that just gives us all the more reason to shoot him in the face. I think that seems reasonable, right? Why is this? So weird. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to fix something here real quick. There it goes. Look at that. I fixed it. I don't know why it was not working there for a second. 21 is your campaign record? Isn't 3 like the lowest you can get? That's like literally like not killing any enemies, and then you get like random vengeance points throughout the campaign, if I remember correctly. Can you? Really? I don't think I've ever gotten 0. Okay, well, let's second action explore. Currently at 5 Doom of 6. And we find a snake bite. That is unfortunate. Alright, test agility 3. If you fail, you must either take 5 damage or take a direct damage and become poisoned. Yeah, I don't got time for that. Test agility 3. Is it even worth it to commit icons to this? So we have medicine, so we can take the poison off in the interlude. Or we could try to like commit a couple cards. Alright, this would be for 2, this would be for 1. This would be 5 versus 3. I don't know if that's really worth it. Like, it'd be nice to save the poison in case we get poisoned later on. And then we don't have to take trauma in the interim. Alternatively, we could save this for a more important test. One thing that's nice about Joe is that you don't need a lot of setup. I don't know if we're gonna need this other 45. We're also really bad at evading. We will eventually have to deal with Ichitaka as well. So it might be worth it to save this, take the initiative. Because we don't really... So our other practice makes perfect doesn't really have a lot of other targets. It's got 2 copies of Deduction and Vicious Blow. So I'm struggling... I think I'm just gonna take it on the chin. Yeah. Really glad I didn't commit anything. So we'll take a direct damage and then we'll become poisoned. Hey JP, saw that you were playing a game on tabletop earlier. I'm assuming you just finished. Come on, go in. There we go. So unfortunately we become poisoned. Ah, Danka. Blessing Joe through the jungle. Okay, last action, let's see. So we know the last treachery is what? Lost in the Wilds? So if we do draw that, that's not the end of the world. Because it's end of our turn currently, basically. So I'm gonna risk it. I believe that's connected. It is not. There it is. Alrighty. So that's fine. We're probably gonna take a couple horror here. Yeah, we'll just take it on the chin. Alright, so that's 2. So we take 2 horror. And then that's the end of our turn, so this will go away. Really? That's weird. You didn't miss much. All I did was just explore and find the last treachery, so. Alright, so we find our Dynamite Blast, and now we're going to advance this turn. Okay, so after hours of exploration and futile attempts to map out the wild, you're convinced something is watching your progress, stalking your every move. The shapes of large serpentine creatures slither in the brush all around you. You try to back away, but the creatures have you completely surrounded, hissing at you from all sides. Suddenly, several shapes emerge from the brush. Human-sized creatures with bodies of serpents and arms wielding spears and jagged knives. These creatures are savage, attacking you fiercely. Somehow you manage to flee to safety, though the sensation that you are being watched remains. Although you survive the encounter, you are confronted with a stark reality. This place is home to creatures beyond your understanding. Shuffle the encounter discard pile, and set aside Agents of Yig into the encounter deck. I'm hoping we get to handcuff one of these guys, that'll be great. Each investigator must test willpower 3. Each investigator who fails performs the following in order. If you're poisoned, take a damage and a horror, and if you're not poisoned, you put the set aside poison weakness into play. Well, we're probably gonna take a damage and a horror here. Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Poor Joe. Alrighty, so the intruders. What was once excitement has turned into dread. This place is far deadlier than you could have imagined. It's as though the jungle itself wants you out, and that it has the action to explore. Alright, let's see what we get for an encounter card here. Oh my god, so many pit vipers! So many! What do you want to bet? Zero Fury will be a return to Forgotten Age achievement along with 20 plus. Oh, totally. Absolutely. I would bet nothing because that's like an easy shoe-in. Well, to be fair, we probably had to ride a plane to get here. So the snakes probably just like were on the plane and then. Oh, dude, don't remind me, man. I think the last time I played this campaign, I seriously had to play it like 4 times with Mandy. It was actually obnoxious. Yeah. That is the one thing about this campaign I rather dislike. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, scene of the crime. That's unfortunate. We could evade. Yeah, that was with the Infinite Mandy. The problem with that campaign is that we had to, I forget what scenario it is. I think it's after Threads? No, it's after Boundary. So after Boundary Beyond, you have to draw a random weakness. And I ended up drawing Amnesia, and that Amnesia is actually what kills that deck. Because Mandy is definitely going to find Amnesia, and then you have to like warp your whole game plan around drawing Amnesia as quickly as possible and then resetting. So it's really quite difficult to deal with. And then weirdly enough, she ended up just dying to trauma in the middle of an interlude. So we passed through City of Archives and then died due to poison, which was the biggest sad trombone. But I think we're just gonna shoot here. Yeah, it was scene of the crime. Last turn it was prop sketches. I've actually been remembering, much to my own surprise. And we don't need this right now. I think. Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to shoot it. Yeah. Alternatively, we could. We don't have the resources for dynamite. I wanted to save these for other locations. I think I'm just gonna shoot here. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 4. Oh, come on. Damn it. Ah, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, change of plans. Wow, that was terrible. It's auto fail number 2 of the game. Yeah, well, evading it's not really an option either. Ah, damn it. Let's shoot it again. Stupid slithery snake. We'll commit this. Yes. I have been accounting for that +1. So this is going to be 6 versus 4 here. Hope we pass. Whew. We did. Okay. So many Pit Vipers. And then last action, let's GTFO. I think next turn I'm going to advance and then go from there. That is connected. Gets over here. Yes. But it's also connected here as well. Yeah, so we're gonna take a damage from this guy too, unfortunately. That is Bullocks. Alright, well, enemy phase, we're gonna have to take a damage. Yeah, this is not going well. And then upkeep, resource card. Okay, Tooth of Etsley. Don't know how helpful that's gonna be. Let's go to Mythos Phase. 1 Doom of 9. And an Ancient Evils. Ooh, working a hunch. There we go. That's kind of nice, actually. Did I? Oh, I did miss a blessed token. Yeah, I've heard Majetes work quite well on Snex. The all-powerful Majete. Okay. So we could work a Majete and grab a clue, gain some resources. Let's do that. And then we'll crack the case. Grab that clue. Okay. So that's all free. That's pretty saucy. That's a yoink. Whoops. Not the location. There we go. And then it's end of the round we have to advance, correct? Yes. Okay. So we still have 3 actions with our turn here. We could continue to move onward. We probably should move because we don't want to take too much damage from the Guardian. We would like to avoid as much as possible because we're probably going to have to deal with a couple more enemies. So let's explore. That is connected. It's the circuitous trail. She's kind of like this. Be kind of, I guess this would be more like that. Okay. This is like down here. I'll go here. Alright, so as an additional cost for us to investigate or explore while here, check our supplies. If no investigator has the compass, we have to spend 3 resources. Okay, well. We do have resources to play around with, but probably not the most ideal thing to do. So the only treachery that's left is low on supplies, which we know because we put that on the bottom of the deck earlier. But unfortunately, we've had to shuffle since then, so... would like that victory point. Yeah. It's almost as bad as Haunted. Except at least with Explorer you feel like you have a chance. I will say that scenario is actually a lot of fun. Even if we didn't succeed, ultimately, it was fun. So... part of me wants to play this, hope to get a card that just lets us grab a clue, rather than spending resources. That could be greedy. I think that's a lot of people's first experiences with TFA. But the more you play it, like, the more I've come to appreciate this campaign. And maybe the same can be said for TCU when I play that like 8 or 9 more times, but... Yeah. I'm gonna suck it up. Let's investigate. 4 versus 1. That is currently a -2, so that's still a pass. Okay. Don't really want to use this to gain a resource. That's lame sauce. Oh, hey, big stupid grin. Yeah. My gripes with TCU is more just as a solo player, it's very difficult. And it's like the kind of difficulty that's not really something you can interact with. It's like, take as much clue tech as you can take and then hope you pass investigate checks, which is not particularly my cup of tea. What to do? I could explore. I could shortcut and then explore again, like go up here and explore. So let's see, so we have 3 cards left in the deck. We know 1 is low on supplies. The other 2, 1 is the rope bridge. So we could like shortcut here, go to the rope bridge. I think the other one is what? It's not the Temple of Fang. I think it's the Overgrown Ruins. Oh god, I don't remember. I think it's the Ruins, though. Yeah, it is doable. Yeah, and weirdly enough, when I played it with Joe, it was actually the best run of the campaign I had, even though I played a two-handed run with Diana and Jenny, and that just ultimately ended up failing miserably. It was like every investigate check I made with lockpicks, I failed. And it was just like so debilitating. We have 5 cards. Yeah, I think... I'd rather not take a damage. I think I'd rather be here to do the check with Ichitaka. So let's see if we can draw something useful. Fortunately, we don't really. Okay, so enemy phase. Nothing happens when I go to upkeep. There's a handcuff. Okay, so end of the round, we're going to spend our 3 clues. And we're going to advance. As you explore the dense jungle, you are suddenly confronted by several natives. At first glance, they appear to be warriors of an Aztec city-state. Perhaps even the one you seek. But how could they have survived undiscovered for this long? Even with Alejandro's notes, you were barely able to translate what the warriors say. Only that they call you intruder, and implore you to leave the jungle at once. You try to explain that you are searching for the Etzli, which causes them to murmur and debate among themselves. Finally, one of them speaks to you in rudimentary Spanish. Ichitaka will know what to do with you, intruder. He blows on a decorated ocarina, producing a shrill note that echoes throughout the jungle. The warriors depart as suddenly as they arrived. Put the set-aside Ichitaka enemy into play at the lead investigator's location. There we go. And then shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Knowing my luck, I'm going to draw that Ancient Evils again. Okay. Mythos. 3 Doom of 9. And we draw a Snake Bite. Oh, goodness. Okay, so we're probably going to take a damage here, unfortunately. Don't think there's any way we're going to get out of that. So Ichitaka could very well kill us if we fail that investigate check. Which would be unfortunate. So I don't think we're gonna pass this test. Yeah. Alright, well, 2 versus 3. Oh? Aw, wham, wham. That is sad days. The blessed token, like, lifted my spirits only for the auto fail to just drag me back into the mud. I didn't mean to waste it. Okay, so we have to pass these parlay checks. I was hoping to draw fine close. Oh man, we don't really have any good icons either. This is gonna be difficult. We draw logical reasoning, that's not helpful. Yay. Welp. Evading is not an option. Attacking isn't really an option either. Yeah, Joe brought his suit. I mean, if we pass this check, man, this is pretty legendary. We're currently 5 versus 4, and I don't think we have anything else to commit, so drum roll. Ho ho ho! Yes! Oh man, that was lucky. Wow, that was extremely lucky. She only needs 1, thankfully. I believe it's 1. That was so lucky. So we parlay with her and she says, interesting. You are not simply here to shed blood, she says with a spark of wonder in her voice, and you are stunned to hear her speaking perfect English. Remember that Ichitaka is leading the way, and add a cultist token to the chaos bag for the remainder of the scenario. Shuffle the 3 set-aside ruins locations into the exploration deck and advance to 3A, search for the ruins. Dude, Joe Silvertongue, man, he pulled that one out of his rear, to say the least. That was extraordinarily lucky. Oh, thank you, Comatose, for the sub, man. I appreciate you giving me Jeff Bezos' money. Much appreciated. That was so lucky, I cannot believe we actually passed that. Better to be lucky than to be good, am I right, chat? Okay, so each Etzli Guardian cannot attack or be attacked, and we ignore the effects of every arrows in the trees. Only investigators at the ruins of Etzli may spend the requisite number of clues to advance. Okay, so we have a couple actions left with our turn here. We can spend 3 resources to try to get out of here, but I did forget to shuffle the ruins locations. That's pretty important. Let's do that. Ichitaka, please. Okay, so the circuitous trail is definitely where we want to be. So I think let's second action explore. And we find the ruins of Etzli. Wow, that was fast. Ichitaka's like the best guide ever. Just leads us right there. Okay, so the Runes of Etzli is 3 Shroud and 2 Clues. Has a forced effect that says, after you fail a skill test while investigating here, draw the top card of the encounter deck. Okay, well, don't know if I want to do that this turn. Let's Malison, at the very least, as our last action here. So we have some soak to work with. We can ignore arrows in the trees, but Malison can help us deal with other silly nonsense. Okay, so that's our turn. There's no enemies on the board, so we can forego that for now. I just want to dance. Let's shuffle this back into the deck. Let's go ahead and go to Mythos Phase here. 4 Doom of 9. Counter card for the turn. Ooh, that is a big old pile of nothing. That's sweet. It's just ignore them, right? Oh, that is so good. That is basically a free draw for us. Alright, let's see what we get for our hunch. Ooh, Scene of the Crime. Very nice. That's cool. Fortunately, there's no enemy on our location. So, we'll just play Working a Hunch first action, grab a free clue. And then... I don't really want to investigate again. Failing these investigate checks might spell doom for us. So I'd like to avoid that as much as possible. We could like draw a card. We currently only have 4 XP on the board, 5 XP with Ichitaka. Could play Handcuffs. Try to help us out with the Vengeance enemies. I think I'm going to do that second action. And then we can... Yeah, I guess we'll just draw. Do we need resources? I don't think we do. And we find our cults. Okay, not bad. Let's go to upkeep. Resource card. Okay, Vicious Blow. Mythos Phase, we're at 5 Doom of 9. And our encounter card for the turn is oh god, a Serpent from Yoth. Okay, so this guy has 3/5/3. While there are 1 or more Vengeance points in the victory display, he gains Retaliate, and while there are 2 or more Vengeance points in the victory display, he gains Hunter. Okay, so this guy is going to... It's going to be an issue. But thankfully, we played our handcuffs, so we can handcuff the Serpent person. Greatest headcanon ever. Let's see, so it'd be 4 versus 3. Part of me wants to kill it for the victory point. Don't really have the resources to do that. We'd have to spend our whole turn doing it too. Let's see what we get for our hunch. Ooh, we get Scene of the Crime. So we could do this and then evade, and then that would give us the clues that we need. So I think I'm going to do that, because this doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity, so we can do that. And then maybe second action we can evade it. Oh, so we can just try to cuff it regardless. That's pretty cool. Okay, yeah. Do I want to commit anything? I probably want to commit this. I've got a plan. That puts us at 5 versus 3. That beats us over the skulls. Number of locations in play. There is a lot of locations in play. So these cultist tokens are going to be quite gruesome. We can also commit this. That'd be, what, 7 versus 4? Or 7 versus 3? Yeah, let's do that. 7 versus 3? Nice. Yoink. He gets evaded. This is hilarious. Can't believe we actually did it, chat. We actually got to handcuff a serpent person. That should be an achievement right there. If they're looking for achievements for Return to TFA, that should be one of them. And do we want to do anything else? Because this guy is not going to be able to ready. So he could just, like, shoot him. Like, we could move back to the circuitous trail and then... Or we could just try to punch it in the face repeatedly. I think I'm gonna be greedy. Try to go for the extra victory point. So let's fight it. Oh, we'd have to engage it, wouldn't we? Yeah, I'm pretty sure you'd have to engage an enemy to fight it. I could be wrong. Where's the engage action? Page 11. It's pretty hilarious. The imagery is just great. Or I guess I'd be looking for a fight, which is page 12. Or an enemy. Okay, so you can fight it. The more you know. Yeah. I mean, we might as well, right? There's no downside to trying to kill this thing. So that's going to be 6 versus 3. Ah, all right. So that's a pipe dream. I don't know if I want to stick around to try to get more victory points. We have 5 currently. There's 2 here, 1 here, and 1 at the Serpent Haven. And then we have the 1 from Ichitaka. I was hoping to get this as well, but I don't think we're gonna have enough time reasonably. I feel like we'll probably just die to some stupid treachery. And I don't really want to have to put clues back down on this location and draw more encounter cards if we can avoid it, or spend resources here, so I think that is going to do it. I think we're just gonna spend our 3 clues in advance. Ooh, so what we have found is beyond our wildest expectations. Despite their supposed age, the ruins appear preserved in time. Several aspects of the architecture are strangely futuristic. You set out to investigate at once. Somehow, after much toil and many hours of exploration, we found the ruins that Alejandro sought, though we scarcely could have been ready for what we encountered in the wilds of the jungle. The rainforest was guarded by unfathomable horrors. Serpentine creatures that we handcuffed, driven by anger and hate. They hunted us relentlessly, yet they were no match for our handcuffs. Perhaps just as deadly were the human natives of the rainforest. They appeared to be Aztec warriors as far as dress and speech were concerned. Despite the conquering of the Aztec people hundreds of years ago, these warriors somehow survived. How they managed to remain undiscovered this long is beyond us. The warrior named Ichitaka was particularly intriguing. We were able to defuse the initial encounter with her, and surprisingly, she helped guide us through the jungle. Only to disappear mysteriously when we reached the ruins. I have a feeling we have not seen the last of her. Alejandro did not agree with our decision to trust the Etzli warriors. He decided to stay at camp until further notice, disturbed as he is by their presence. I thought he would be excited to learn more about them, but I expect this discovery defies even his broad-minded theories. I suppose he has a right to be distrustful. Nothing about this expedition makes sense. We've cleared a route to what Alejandro believes is the main temple of the ruins. There is little time to rest. The serpent creatures seem intent on stopping us, so we cannot tarry any longer than necessary. Soon we will enter the ruins and see what secrets they hide. Ooh, so in our campaign log, we record that we cleared a path. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we can get through Tomb of Etzli, and it's not like another Jenny just dying in the middle of... And then, let's see, we earned Ichitaka's trust. And we earned 2 vengeance points. And then we earned 5 experience. That's exciting. Okay, I think that is it as far as the resolutions go. Okay, so check our supplies. Each investigator with a blanket would read Restful Sleep. Otherwise, we toss and turn all night. On nights of the jungle, we barely sleep. A strange fog rolled through the camp each night, plunging the area into an intense and peculiar cold. Our bedroll offered some protection against the elements, but we hadn't prepared for this unnatural weather. Flies and mosquitoes buzzed in my ears every time I began to drift off. Even though I finally slept, I would have been startled awake by the crawling of an insect or lizard across my face. I wager I'll get very little sleep on this journey. Alright, so we take a physical trauma. Check our supplies. We are low on rations. Oh no, we're gonna start with absolutely 0 resources. That's gonna suck. The lead investigator must choose an investigator to be the group's lookout. We check our supplies. We have the binoculars. So we earn 2 additional experience. Nice. Most of the nights passed without incident, but on this night I was startled by the rustling of tree branches along the southern border of our camp clearing. Despite the darkness, I was able to use my binoculars to see the shapes moving in the trees. The shapes appeared human, but why? Why do they only watch us from afar? What is their purpose? And then the poison spreads. Oh no, we have medicine to stave it off. Haha. We get rid of our medicine, and then we, for now, get rid of this. Okay, cool. So, I think that is